Okay, folks, sorry I'm a little bit late. I've just run a bit behind. Let me just set this up. I'll be right with you. Let me just check everything's opening as it should.
Order submitted.
2, 3, 4, beautiful.
Order cancelled.
Okay, so I hope everyone's had a good weekend. Speedy, how you doing? H, how are you? Okay, let me just quickly look at this chart. 1, 2, 3, triple test. Interesting.
Order submitted.
Triple test. Come on. Got a channel break, 2 pushes up to a new high. Yeah, it's a triple test. I am not having a good time of this. Just give me a second. I'll be with you, folks. I want to get out of this trade. Okay,
Order filled.
I think it's going to break above there. Oh, not a good start. K3, how you doing? Scruffy, how you doing? I'm just really struggling at the moment. I seem to be just struggling emotionally. So I'm down already, a few $100, and we've only just started. Okay. Let me have a look. So, is this going to work or not? It is a triple test. We've had a break, 2 pushes up to a new high. Tried once, tried twice. Is there a bigger channel working here? Let me have a look. Yeah, there may be a bigger channel. I still think this will come down. It's taken it out for a tick.
Order submitted.
This. 1, 2, 3, triple test. Taking it out for a tick. Likely going to come down. Come on.
Order filled.
Okay, so look at that. It's so frustrating that. Takes it out for 1 tick and then turns down. So let me just get rid of that a minute. That's the one I was after. It took me out for a tick and then came down. That's for long. Okay. Okay. Do you know what? I had all things, everything planned out. It's all right. I'm down $40. That's not too bad in the end. Everything's shut down. Okay. How many have we got in at the moment? I just want to have a chat about Friday. Not so much. Let's get a few more in and I'll have a chat about Friday. And I've done a little bit of research and a few things. It did work, that one. 1, 2, 3. Knocked it out for a tick and came down. So channel, break, 1, 2 pushes up to a new high. 1, 2 more attempts. What I liked about it is it took any liquidity out here and then dropped. So I thought that was going to work. It did, but not before it took it out for a tick. It's frustrating, that, isn't it? When it does that, it's almost like our strategy is known and they go, okay, there's a triple test there. There's going to be traders there. Let's push it up one more time, take them out for a tick and come down. Frustrating, isn't it? Yeah, I seem to be struggling a bit. Anyway, I did some research over the weekend and I kind of know where I'm going wrong in a way, and I've just probably just repeated that here. There was a trade Friday. We had a really strong downtrend. There was 2 perfect legs up and I talked myself out of it. Now, it seems to me like and I've done a bit of research over this, and I've read this a few times. Inexperienced traders tend to overcomplicate things. Instead of just seeing a trade, they take it. And what they tend to do, they talk themselves out of a good trade, and then they stay in a bad trade. And that's kind of what I did. On Friday, I talked myself out of the good trade, and then when we had what looked like an overshoot, when I got into it, I held on to it. I gave it an extra tick or two, and I ended up moving it in the end. It's weird, isn't it, how it works? So it does sound a bit like me that I'm complicating things. I'm overthinking things. And I should not really be, even if it is an overshoot, sometimes what looks like an overshoot can turn into a wider channel, and that's exactly what happened Friday. And it's weird, isn't it? And I was watching Top Dog. Anybody seen that guy, Top Dog Trader? He's got videos going back 17 years. And I was listening to him, and he made a lot of sense. As inexperienced traders, you think, surely the market can't go up anymore. It's got to come back. And I was looking at my video from Friday, and that's exactly what I was saying. It can't go down any further. It's got to come back. And the further down it goes, the more eager you are to trade in the opposite direction. And that exactly, I missed a good trade. And the reason I didn't get it is because it was quite low down. Instead of thinking about what is the picture telling me, it's a strong downtrend. I shouldn't be thinking about, this is bound to turn in a minute, this is bound to turn. And the slightest opportunity, which looked like an overshoot, I ended up going long, and it stung me. So there's two things I've got to change. One, I've got to wait for good setups. If I see one, I've just got to take it. And two, I've got to stop counter trend trading and thinking it can't go. This guy said, I've heard so many traders saying this is overbought, this is oversold, and they want to go in the opposite direction. And it's the worst strategy to do. Now, he said he used to do it, and when he said he was friends with some traders who trade in some of these, some of the institutional traders, and he said something one of them told me, when we get a little bit of pullback. So, for instance, if we've got a trend here, let's say we got a trend here, okay? Let's say we take this trade. As soon as I take a trade, half the time I'm hovering with my stop trying to get out of it. So you get into a good trade and you try and get out of it. You get into a bad trade and you try and hold on to it. You're trying to extend that stop to hold on to it as long as you can. When really a trade like this, you should be holding for as long as possible. People think, I've got to get out, But if it's trending, look what happens. It goes further. And straight away, when it's pulling, even if you hold on, as soon as it starts to pull back, traders are getting out of it. Whereas experienced traders are buying back in. They're selling it here and buying it back here. I'm selling it here because I'm panicking. So I need to if I can get into a trade like this, say I take something like that high or low, instead of getting out for a couple of points, and it is in a trend, I should really be holding it. Because if I take it to that swing, and that swing, there's the next swing, that's 10. That's 11 points as opposed to 2. That 11 points pays for a hell of a lot of losses. So in trading day, if we look at that trade, the trade yesterday I left, Thomas Wade took it. So this thing is clearly coming down, isn't it? Yeah, you can clearly see that. No issues there. I mean, we're down 43 points, okay? We get 2 perfect legs up. I leave it because something doesn't seem right. When it's the perfect thing, we push down, we get 2 attempts, and what happens? It comes down. I ended up getting in here, I think. Well, no, was it here or something? I think it was a higher low there I got in there because it looked like an overshoot. What happens? Triggered me, ticked me, and came down and stopped me out. Whereas if I'd have held on there and put it at the previous swing, I'd have got 15 points. So 15 points, 1 trade there. 10 points, 1 trade there. That's 25 points. That's the equivalent of 12 trades for me. It pays for a lot of losses because on the odd time, it may come back and get you. But chances are, if it's trending, you only ever want to be going for longs. And usually, the first thing we'll see is when it does break, it'll come down and push up. But if I'd have held my stop there still, my stop would have been there, I'd have still been fine. So technically, if it comes back and you get another good setup, you can just hold it until it breaks, or maybe until it hits your previous swing. And that's so there's some things I need to do. That's one of them. If we get into a trend, I wait for a setup and take it. I'm talking myself out of it all the time, and it's causing me to have problems. You know, if I took that there and got 10 points on that swing and got 15 points on there, I can afford to lose 7 trades. Well, 5 trades in a row, and still be better off than if I was just taking 2 points. So I'm reading this a lot, and that sheriff guy as well, that guy from forget his name now, from what's it? He says, hold on to your winners. So if you're in a trend and you get a really nice setup, why are you just getting out for a couple of points? Hold on to it. You entered Friday at 3 o'clock GMT. Market conditions were toxic, yeah. But the thing is, I talked myself out of that trade. And within about 1 minute, I saw loads of things popped up. Took it, I'm out. Took it, I'm out. I was the one that took, because I'm overcomplicating it. Oh, it looks like it's going a bit sideways. Well, even if it is going a bit sideways, we're still in a strong downtrend. It's made 2 attempts to push higher. So I should be taking trades like that and following it down to the next swing, which was there. 15.5 points in 1 trade. As opposed to 2 if I'd have took that. You know what I mean? I've taken the equivalent of 7 or 8 trades there as opposed to 1. So that's the problem. But yeah, I think we had this, what looked like a downtrend. I don't know, was it there or something like that? I think initially I had it up there. Yeah, I did. Because people weren't sure about where it was going. So I think initially I had it there. And I came down here. So I saw an overshoot there, I think, didn't I? Or, no, I'll tell you where it was. I put that there because I remember it touched there and it was fitting beautifully along that bottom line, which told me it's definitely in this. And what happens? We have 2 legs down and we bounce once, twice. So I'm thinking overshoot, we're going to get a steep pullback. So what did I do? I took that higher low. I'm thinking this is going to come up at least the midline because the overshoot. What happened? People like Thomas Wade and others took the trap and got another big push down. You know, even if you'd have taken that down, if you'd have taken that there, you'd have had your stop there, you'd have had your stop there, you'd have had your stop there. When that starts to push down another 11 points, there's 26 points in 2 trades there. Just think how many losses I can afford to take and still be. I am writing about your second long trade. I am writing about it. You entered. Oh, sorry. My apologies. Sorry, mate. But just see what I mean, though. I'm talking myself out of trades because I don't think. See that one? Straight away, I'd be thinking, there's no way that can come down. Look how far it's come down. It's right at the bottom. Yeah? Instead of over-analysing it, I should have just seen sort of second entry short. You're going to trap some longs there. Let's take a trade. If I'd have took that trade, it came down another 26 points. And then it came down another 26 points. And then it kept going sideways. I'm talking myself out of good trades, holding on to crap trades, when I should be holding on to these and trying to maximise my profits. Exactly the reason Kellyanne gave up on Mac's system. She was sick of taking 2 points and missing the whole trade. Yeah. I get scalping, but the trouble is with scalping is it's very fast. And I remember hearing, I think it was Al Brooks saying, new traders shouldn't scalp. It's too emotionally difficult for them. So, put it this way, Pats, we can still use Pats for an entry. That's a perfect entry, really. It's a perfect entry. 2 legs up. Really? I talked myself out of it. I'm thinking leg and a leg, but this is such a strong downtrend. I should be jumping all over those. And look, everyone else bar me jumped over that straight away. And what happens? Within about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Within 8 bars, you'd have made nearly 20 points. That's what he said. Yeah, he did. Because we can't sort of emotionally manage him because it's too quick. So what I'm going to start to do now is if I see a setup like that, 2 legs back, and it's with the trend, I'm going to take it and hold on to it and move it down for these swings. I know it's going to be hard, but I'm going to do it with 1 contract. So it's not as stressful. I have come off possibly a shallower trend. Yeah, it's. I think you're talking about this anyway, but I think that's what happened there. I taught myself out of that, and Thomas Wade had his runner down here. Why? Because he's experienced. He's more experienced than me. But I also listened to this guy, that Top Dog Trading, and he said I used to do exactly those things. And it's it's a learning curve. We all learn, and we all do it. But when you remember when you were young kids, and your parents said, "Don't do this, don't do that. If you do this, this will happen," and you never listen to them, and you always make those mistakes. And then when you get a bit older, you leave school or college, or university, whatever. When people tell you things, you tend to listen to them because you've realised, listen to people who know. But with trading, somehow, it almost takes you back to being a kid because of those emotions. There's not many jobs where you have those emotions, and it almost takes you back to when you were a child, and you just don't listen. And what I've found out, I was doing a bit of sort of thinking about what I was thinking. What I've found out is I'm listening to it, but I'm not hearing it. It's not getting in me head. And I think this, and then this trade here that I jumped in that I got stopped out. I shouldn't have been going long there in such a strong downtrend, regardless of whether I thought it was an overshoot or not. So now I'm aware of these, and I've done a little bit of research. I think it's got in me head a little bit more, and I kind of get it. It's not a simple thing to forget, really. It should be quite easy. Don't count. We've all heard Max saying, "Don't count trend trade, don't counter trend trade," and that's exactly what I did there. I missed out on that one. Patience got to me. I'm thinking, look how lovely it's fitting there. That is an overshoot. Now it may be, and it probably was to a degree, but it's such a strong trend that usually doesn't do a lot. And what did it do? In the end, we ended up taking it down to there. And then it's fitting nice. Excuse me. And I think then some of us ended up taking it down like that. And it fit even nicer. So I think I'm learning on the job here. That was a break, no argument. Such a strong downtrend. That was a break straight away. And then what happened straight down. So whether it's like that or some form of that is fine. You need to read the time-based chart before you can use 2000 tick chart. The 1 minute chart has told you easy that you can't enter into a long trade. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't be doing it anyway. Pat's trading is the most difficult. Yeah, I think you're right. So what I need to do is do a combination of, really. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you call it Pats or not, really, that's a good setup. Clearly two pushes above, and it's struggling. It can't get up there. We're in a big, strong trend. And you can see how many traders got in that, by the way. All the bars are red. Where are you with your evals and PAs? I got 4 PAs at the moment, and my funded futures eval. I ended up revenge trading and getting it all back quickly, and I'll tell you where I did it. Do you remember I went long gear? When we had this, it came down and it pulled back in here. I jumped in here for 4 contracts and it pushed down. So I'm missing important points here. Hey Dan, how you doing? I think Pat's is just pattern trading. It makes sense why you're struggling with it. I think Pat's is pattern trading. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, Dan, about taking trades like that and holding on to them in a downtrend? Is that something you would tend? I know you makes sense why you're struggling. Yeah. I kind of get what you're saying there. yeah, I get what you're saying there. Not so much of a pattern. I mean, that really, now I look at this now I can see what it did, but when I look at this, there's two things we can see here. The market is clearly bearish. It's coming down. Every time it comes back, well, you can see red bar worked, red bar worked, red bar worked, red bar worked. Everything here worked. We're clearly making... I took the same trade Friday, but my contracts didn't completely fill, so I didn't have a runner. Okay. But, see, I think really I don't have the option to have a runner, whereas Mac would, and I'm pretty sure Mac would make a lot more money out of his runners. Now, I don't have that opportunity, but this guy I watched, this top dog trader guy, now have a look him up. He's got videos going back 17 years. He's an oldish guy, probably in his, I don't know, well, I say oldish, 55 myself, but he looks like in his middle 60s, mid 60s, something like that. But he clearly knows what he's doing. Pats can give you nice entries, support you read the market conditions correctly. Yeah. I mean, that one was a clear trade, wasn't it? I don't know why I talked myself out of that one. But I like what this guy said. Inexperienced traders have got a tendency to overanalyze, overthink things. That's the key. Reading it, it is, yeah. Now, I should know better, really. So this is where I had that initially. Now, obviously, we have our charts a certain area, a certain way, and then they change and develop as the day goes on. So I think initially I had it like that, touching this swing, excuse me, and something like that. And part of the reason I like that is because it was fitting, it touched here, it came from the top there to that next swing high, and it was working along that midline, and it was fitting really nicely there. So I'm thinking this is clearly fitted in this, so I was confident this looked right. And then we had this, so I'm thinking bounce, bounce, overshoot, push up, and I took the long. Now, really, I shouldn't be taking long trades in such a strong downtrend. That's my first mistake. And that one, I'm clearly... Now, I do get a bit of... I've always had a little bit of ADHD. My mind tends to... You can tell sometimes I get a little bit talkative. And my mind tends to overthink things and overcomplicate things. Let's have a look. Apex Trader Fund. Oh, okay. Excuse me, just 1 second. I've just had a quick message from Apex. Let's have a look. Your affiliate coupon should now be working. Fantastic. Tony from Apex. Brilliant. I appreciate that. Okay, folks. Just going to change this. My affiliate is now working UKFT. So let's just get rid of that one. That's nice of them to get back. That's it there. I'm just going to change this quickly. And then I'll carry on. I appreciate you talking with me, Dan. Let's have a look. UKT. Fantastic. Okay, my code is now working. Fantastic. Now, I do appreciate you guys using that code. It does give me some money coming in so I can fully commit to trading. By the way, did you see... did anybody see... I'll talk about it in a minute. Let me have a look. Yeah, I didn't draw like that, but in my opinion, the midline wasn't even fitting well, so should assume that it's not an overshoot. Yeah. See, usually in an overshoot, you'll have heard me talk about this, when I think we've had an overshoot, straight away, I avoid going short to give it chance. What I rarely do is counter trend trade. You'll hear me say, oh, we got a short, we got what looks like an overshoot here. I'm going to be careful going. So what I would have normally done is avoided that and waited for a lower high. What I'd never do, for some reason, is take the opposite trade, is fight the market. I don't know why I did it. But, you know, it is a learning curve. We do make mistakes. You know, any job where you can earn a significant amount of money is never going to be easy. You know, I'm never going to give up doing this. The only way I'll give up this is if I'm dead. I'll either die trying. I love a challenge. I don't like getting beaten. But it is a learning curve. Sometimes you've got to make these mistakes a few times before they finally sink into your head. And that's my problem. Sometimes I can be a little bit thick-headed, and I tend to listen but not really hear it. And if anything, it was an overshoot, you should at least wait for a... Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we know overshoots. Now, that could possibly have led to a reversal. It might have, because we know sometimes they'll outright reverse. Sometimes you'll get a bigger correction and they'll come down. Sometimes they'll come down, make a new low, and then reverse. They do a bunch of stuff. But what I always normally do is if I think we've had an overshoot, I avoid going short just to give it time. Are you trading penguin trades now? Are you on about me? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm trying to grow up a little bit and make the decision based on what I see. Now, we got a channel down, 2 attempts. Is that a penguin trade? It might likely be. Now, I took a few penguin trades a couple of weeks ago, and Mac marked exactly the same trades. Penguin being 2 attempts to push up and then looking bearish. So they're very similar. All penguin is really is sometimes a slightly larger version. Sometimes we may have 2 bigger legs and he'll take a short here. So a lot of it is very similar. How people stream with it affecting the psychological. So probably never. Yeah. I've always done it. Well, certainly for the last year and a half. And I find I generally trade better with it. As I say, I suffer with a little bit of ADHD, so my mind tends to just work by itself. I don't have to think too much about it. So I personally don't think it affects me. I have traded without it, and I kind of feel weird without it. Because although I'm talking now, I can still see what's going on. But I think my emotions just get the better of me a little bit. But, you know, I think it's all part of maturing and growing up and you know, I've only really been trading for about 3.5 years, which is not long. It's not long. But it is. It's not as easy as it looks. It really isn't. It's a tough business. It takes time. It takes time to manipulate those emotions. Maybe something like that. Touch, 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 touch. It's kind of working, whether we go like that or whether we go like that. I think something like that. So let's just put that there, a couple of legs, so at least I know where it could possibly turn if it does. But we've gone up, made a new high. I mean, we've had a little break here and a new high. We've come back and continued up. We've pushed up. We've had 2 legs up, working in here a little bit, 2 legs back. That wasn't a bad place to enter if you did something, but 2 legs back, and now we're working in this tier. So let me just check everything's working here.
Order submitted.
This is.
Order cancelled.
So I switched from Mac to Penguin to Thomas Wade back to Penguin. Yeah, I think it's pretty common, bud. I had an email with Mac maybe about a year ago, and he said it's perfectly normal for traders to be on the lookout for something else, to try and improve what they got and try and find easier ways to not get stuck and not lose trades. It's all part of learning to trade. It's kind of 2 legs back here. The bit that... Am I talking myself out of a trade? I don't know I am, actually. We're going a bit flat across here, so it's not very clear, is it? And not just that, there's support there, so going long into there for me is risky. Now, it could continue up to this line here, we know that. And it possibly will, but... let's have a look. Yeah, I have asked Daniel to stream. I mean, he does okay. He makes decent amount of money. If you're making decent money, why jeopardize it? You know, doing something different. You know, why? You know, I don't doubt you could make a lot of money out of it. But you know, if he's doing well out of it, you know, and he's got that freedom, isn't he? When you sort of stream. So streaming, I think it helps me. I like it because I do kind of talk out aloud anyway. If I'm sat here by myself, sometimes I'll be sort of talking out aloud. It's just the way my brain works. Okay, so a good choice to leave that alone. It's clearly going to break below there, possibly there as well. But we've had the break. We've had kind of two legs up. This second leg hasn't got as high as well, it may continue on up, but it's clearly going sideways there. So taking that is sort of semi-suicidal. It may work. I don't know that Penguin do trade, honestly. I've asked him as well to trade, to stream. But I think, do you know what it is? I think it's just having that comfort zone that, so I mean, look, I'm on Thomas Wade's forum, and I know Marco's on here, and I know Taylor's on here as well, and I like it just to help me with my decision-making process, more about my charts. Not that I think my charts are terrible. I've got exactly this, in fact, or have I? Yeah, I've got, at the moment, my chart's exactly the same as Thomas Wade's. It's clearly working along there. We're going a bit sideways here, so it's the same as Thomas Wade's. Well, almost the same. Yeah. So, and he's got it working here as well. So it's more of a confidence thing for me. There's such a lot of failing when you're learning to trade. It's very hard to have that kind of belief in yourself. And I think at some point when your skill level starts to improve and you get used to these emotions, I think things will get better. I mean, you've got to want to do it. I mean, you can sit here all day long, but if you'd rather be somewhere else, then you may always kind of struggle. But, you know, I have that desire to do well. I want to earn some good money. I want to have a better life for my family. I want to have more family time. And, you know, I want to know that I don't have to get up at 4 o'clock on a freezing cold morning and go to work for someone else who doesn't appreciate me. You know, I bought an eval with your code. It's working. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Incidentally, I will talk about this because it's Kellyanne is she's an interesting character. I kind of like her. But did anybody hear how much she's making off affiliates this month, just since she started? $20,000. I don't even get anywhere near that. And funnily enough, about a month or two ago, she was saying she was going on about Pex and going on about a few others, and she went, I don't use affiliates. I make my money from trading, and now she's kind of got a little taste of how much. I mean, I wish I earned that, but I don't even earn 1/10 for that. But the thing is, she's kind of, you know, she was going on about Apex, and, you know, people like Patrick Wheeland and the other guy, now they must be earning thousands from affiliates. So you can kind of understand. Yeah, I know, I was stunned myself. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I average around about $1,300 to $1,500 a month from affiliates. And that gives me enough of a wage so I can stay at home full-time and trade. I wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. I'd have to go out. Now, I've not always had that. You know, I think my very first one was about $7, and then, you know, it takes time. But the way I see it is, you guys are helping me by using my code. Now, it doesn't cost you guys anything. That's the only reason I do it. I didn't start using affiliates. It was a few months before I realised they even existed. But it helps me out, and I appreciate it. But it'd be interesting to see how Kelly's... Now, I'm not being nasty to her. I've got nothing against her. It'd be interesting to see how her attitude towards it has changed when she's realised how much some streamers are making from that. So you can't imagine... I mean, if she's earning that in a month, can you imagine what Patrick Wheelan, what's the other guy, Trades by Matt are making? They must be making thousands out of them. No wonder they don't speak up against companies, because when you've got so much money invested in somebody, you can't. You know, they've got lives, they've got money coming in. You can't all of a sudden, because someone said, you know, someone comes out and says, oh, they're scam, they're this. In all honesty, I've never had a payment refused from Apex. Now, I can't, in all good conscience, rubbish a company when they've never done anything to me. it's not. It's not fair to do, making comments and scam stuff. It can be damaging to companies. And not only that, there are loads of you guys out there, and many, many more, who've got half a dozen, or a dozen or 20 Apex. And it's your livelihood. And having some people rubbishing them and potentially affecting their business can affect you in the long run. So you are helping me and I am helping you. That's the kind of the way I see it. I'm here for a bit of company for you guys. You guys can see me sort of make my mistakes openly. So it's, that's kind of how I see it. We kind of help each other. But if it was a case of you guys had to pay for it, I wouldn't do it. And I've said this from day one, no matter how experienced I get in this business, if I ever do, I'd never dream of charging like some do. And I know, I think it was it told me the other day, someone told me the other day that, is it Trader Joe? I think his name's Joe. The one with the guy without the hair and the beard. I think his name's Joe. Is charging, I think, up to $200 on to join his mentoring thing, whatever it is, mentor, something like that. Apex is only, but yeah, I've kind of matured a bit with Apex. I tried about 2 or 3 others just for a week or two when I first started, and Apex is all I've kind of known, really. Karina, how you doing? Joe. That's it, Joe. It was who told me. The other day. What's his name? Oh, my head's gone blank. Is he here? Tampa. I'm completely blank. Find his name. He told me about it, that he's charging this. And I know Wilson is as well. The trouble is, a lot of those guys are still struggling with themselves, so I don't think it's fair to take other people's money when you start kind of... But that's just my opinion. I'm not dissing anybody for doing it. But it's not something I would do. Daniel's just come on here and give me a few little bits of comments and advice. And I've spoke to him many times on Facebook, and he's never... he's a successful trader making money. He's never said, "Oh, I haven't got time for you." He's always answered my messages. And I speak to Marco from time to time and Taylor from time to time, and I ask them for help and advice. And I think it's all about passing things down the line. It's about helping each other. Because, no one ever... all right, I paid Mac $125 measly a year. In all honesty, I feel like I'm ripping him off, to be honest with you. Considering he's such a seasoned trader and he's helping me out. So I kind of don't feel like I'm paying there. But it's about passing it down. We all help each other. We get newer guys come on here and ask me questions. Like I say, some of you more experienced guys, I ask you questions. And it is about, there's no competition. It doesn't matter if I win or lose on the market. It doesn't affect a penny that you make. So it's about helping each other. So it's just not something I'd do. I don't think it's fair. I'd feel like a criminal doing it, to be honest with you. But, other people do it. And that's down to them. So the only thing I do is get some from affiliates, which enable me. And I'm fortunate to not have to go out to work. It gives me enough money so that I can... spend all my sort of day. I've got an ADHD daughter who's at home a lot of the time, so it's really useful for our family. Sam, do you know if we can trade Apex after hours? I saw a line from Apex that says our account would be liquidated if a trade is held. Okay. So the market closes. You probably know this anyway. Brother and I use your code. Thank you, Karina. I appreciate that. I know you guys don't have to. You can use anyone else's code, in all fairness, and you'll get exactly the same thing. But I appreciate it when people do. And I do make a video out now and again, once in a while, just thanking people, because you've got to. It's the right thing to do. Market closes for an hour. Now, I wouldn't suggest trying it, but I've done it a few times. If I've been trading on an evaluation and I've just got stupid and left it. Now, Apex, if I can find it. Can I find it? Probably not. I'll see if I can dig it out. Daryl Martin came out and made a video, I would say, and someone else will probably be able to tell you this as well, maybe 8-10 months ago. They were, at the time, they were coming out with new rules and new systems. We never used to get 80%, to be honest with you, but they were coming out with all these new things, and they changed it from having to trade 25 days to only 10. They changed evaluations from taking 10 days to then 7. And as part of that, there was a few people that said, I accidentally... Now, we've all done this, haven't we? We've all opened a trade like this and gone like that and forgotten it's there. Now, there was a couple of people who'd blown accounts. So Daryl Martin made a video saying from now on, if you've got a position open in the market 1 minute to 5 or whenever the market closes, it'll be auto liquidated, so you won't blow an account. So, and that video is still out there somewhere because I looked at it about a month or so ago by accident. So I wouldn't suggest you do it, but it will auto liquidate, so you won't blow your account. And that video is out there with him saying that. So, but you've still got 23 hours. I wouldn't suggest trading out of hours unless, if you're going to, I would certainly say I wouldn't do it on the 2000 tick chart. You'll just get very little movement on, do the minute or whatever. But yeah, no, you're okay with it if you do it. I mean, you really want to, know what you've got triggered. But, I've done it myself, so I know, I know what it's like. So this is interesting. So we got 2 legs back here, a leg and a leg. Now, anyway, let me just... I've got a my funded futures here. Sell it or not? Let's leave it for now. Let's put the sim on for now. So yeah, what I'm doing now is trading this chart on the left is the NQ. I'm trading this with my funded futures. There, my funded futures. 1000 tick chart, because I know a lot of you guys trade the NQ as well. Now, what I will say is if any of you guys take up a my funded futures account, and don't get me wrong, I like them, you have to, they don't want micro scalping. Now, I watched a video of a guy the other day, and a lot of his trades were getting out for a tick or getting out for break even, and he still got paid. So I would suggest, if you're going to do it, use my funded futures, trade it on the NQ, because 2 points on the ES is about 10 points on the NQ. Now, we all know sometimes from time to time we get into a trade here, market goes sideways, we get out for a couple of ticks, a few ticks, break even, whatever. That's perfectly fine. There's no issues there. But for the majority of your trades, you want to be trading for over 5 points. Now, trading on the NQ, you'll comfortably do that. You'll comfortably do that. 2 points. People like Karina, you'll know this. Isn't that about right? 2 points on the ES is about 10 points on the NQ. Somewhere around about that. But they want you trading ideally 5 points or more, which is comfortable. So if you do have a go at my funded futures, and I do like them, I've got one at the moment. It's $80 if you go for the... There's 2. There's the expert. I don't see the point in the expert, but it's $80. I can get you another 5%, which is it's about $76. And there's no PA fee. That's all you pay. So you pay $76. You pass it. You move straight onto a PA fee. There's no other payment. So that is the maximum you pay. Whereas Apex, I think it's about $35 at the moment, and $85 it's on offer. So my funded futures is by far the cheapest at the moment. So, John, is Apex still changing affiliate codes when requested? To a personal one, John? I think so, mate, yeah. I haven't heard anything less. In fact, some of the traders or streamers I've seen over the last few months have started getting their own. So yeah, I believe you can. For some reason, mine stopped working last Tuesday. I don't know why. I emailed him and just got nothing till Friday, and then I spoke to Charlie, and he said that they should be only taking 24 hours. He said drop me another email, and I got one back straight away saying your old one's still working. And then I messaged the. She sounded like a new person, so she was nice and friendly and said, yeah, it's working fine. And then by the time I messaged back and said it's not that one, it's the what's it one, I heard nothing. I've just got a message this morning, so it's up and working fine now. But yeah, I couldn't believe Kelly. Unbelievable. I'm wondering whether she feels a little bit guilty from going on about streamers. They're just thinking about affiliates. She didn't do it on purpose. You know, they're just thinking of affiliates. And now she's realised that if you get enough people, I mean, like I say, I tend to average around about $1,300 to $1,500 a month. And it's taken a year and a half, you know, with people doing that. But she's made $20,000 in her first month. Trouble is, she won't be able to stop now. That's the trouble. I think I'll be a bit scared earning that much money because who knows how long it'll be around for. This is interesting. Leg and a leg with a bullish bar there. Leg and a leg. I may take a higher low if we get one here above that EMA. We've got a touch here. A touch. I am not sure about this one. Let me have a look here. Thomas Wade has got the same. Is it the same? Yeah, it is. So at least I know I'm not alone. But I wouldn't take that first one there, just in case it triggers you and something else changes, because there's always a possibility. Could be that. And we could get a leg and a leg down before it pushes up. So in fact, I actually prefer that at the moment. I don't know about anybody else. Interesting. Leg and a leg. Yeah, I'm not sure about this, you know. Whether it is something like that. Sorry about that. Well, what I will say is that measured legs played out. So, touch, 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 touch. I actually prefer that, in all fairness. Now, we have made a measured leg and a leg, and this could be a leg and a leg. It may go a bit sideways, but it could eventually work up again. So I'm a bit on the fence here. I'm not going short. I'm not going long at the moment. Could be a channel there, but this could be a leg and a leg, and then it could eventually work up. So, but yeah, so this one I'm trading. As you can see, my fund of futures down here, and this one Apex. So as long as I stick to the NQ on here, I shouldn't have an issue. Let me just, how much have I got there? One contract. Let's go for 2 on there. I can't think how many ticks you have on here. I still can't get used to the ticks, which is the only reason I'm trading this evaluation here. Let me just check everything works fine.
Order
here.
submitted.
Yes, it does, my funded futures. So if anybody doesn't know, you can trade my funded futures
Order
and Apex
cancelled.
at the same time on NinjaTrader. My funded futures is through Tradeovate with NinjaTrader, and Apex on the ES is through Rhythmic. So you can do that. I wasn't aware up until a couple of weeks ago. So we're stacking up a bit here. So let me see if there's any type of a possible bounce. Depending on how you've got that, I mean, even if you've got it Thomas Wade's way, something like that, it's a break. I think. Yeah, I think it's likely a break anyway, so I think it's quite possible. 2 points ES, 5 points NQ. By the way, is it? Okay. Let me just open up a trade. Open a trade here. Let's
Order submitted.
I'm going to have to look at this.
Order cancelled.
Okay, 2 points. That's fine. As long as it's around about 5 points, that's fine. They want your ideally fun. They just don't want micro scalping. So, we are stacking up here. I am going to try a few others as well. What's the other one? Top pick trading. I don't know. I forget what it's called now. There is a couple of others I want to try as well, just to. But hopefully, we got some news coming out from Apex shortly about some changes. So I'm assuming one thing we're getting a lot from some of these newer firms now is quick payments. Now, there's nothing worse than waiting a month or 2 or 3, waiting for your payment and then waiting 2 or 3 weeks to get it. It's a bit of a pain. So a lot of these, I think I saw a video of a guy from when he put the payment request in. It was in his bank 2 days later, which is quick. But I'm assuming as well Apex are likely to get rid of this request they're asking for video footage. Now, I did put on the Facebook group, I did put a video the other day. I've seen 3 more of them of companies saying, we'll pass your evaluation for you and then we'll give you this bot to do it. So I'm guessing that's a lot to do with why Apex want to see you trading. They want to see video evidence of you pulling the trigger. Because I think there's a lot of companies now. It's like anything. There's always people that are going to come out. And I think that's why Apex have done it, because they've probably been targeted, because they're probably the biggest at the moment. And obviously they don't want people doing that, because if ultimately they're going to record, copy their trades when you eventually go onto a live account, they don't really want to go down that road. So hopefully in the next, well, I think they said 2 weeks, about 2 weeks ago. So hopefully we should find something soon. So channel break. I mean, we've possibly all had a break there. It depends how you look at that, but I think that's probably right. We've had a break and a push down. I know someone got paid without a video recently, so I think it's random. Yeah, I think it was Charlie Baker I told to, and I think it was about 7% of people. I'm full of people late coming to Apex Facebook to defend them, posting huge profits. One guy confirming being on a live account. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, you just don't know, do you? You never quite know what's going on. I mean, I don't doubt there are people trying to scam them. It's bound to. It happens in all walks of life, whatever business you're in. So I don't doubt that. What is going on here? And at the end of the day, a business is there to make money, isn't it? So, I just believe that majority of consistently profitable traders with Apex spend next to 0 time on social media. Yeah, quite likely. Well, we rarely see Danny in now. We don't see him much on Facebook. Occasionally now he started putting his charts, but I think when people tend to make money, they tend to be successful. They enjoy their life, don't they? They, us at the moment, we're all kind of learning off each other, and And I think it's sort of part of it. I know when I started trading, Dan was on there every day. He was on the Facebook group every day, and his chart was out every day, and he was helping me looking at my charts every day. And then obviously as he's got more consistent himself, he's kind of out there enjoying his life. You get in, you do your trades, and you disappear. Okay, so channel break, new low. So where do we go from here? I mean, you could say we've kind of had a break. One push up, two pushes up, measure the leg, and it reverses. It's quite strong, isn't it? I mean, this is quite strong. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a couple of legs and it ended up a bit more, but that's just pure guesswork at the moment. So, I mean, that I'm okay with. Looks okay to me. We've had a break, clearly made a new high. So that's played out, and we seem to be in something. I mean, put it this way, we're still continuing up. I've gone from here, there's a touch here, a touch here, touch, somewhere along those lines. Let me have a look. Yeah, so Thomas Wade he's just put his up. He's got that exactly the same. Exactly the same there with a break. He's got the chart the same there. So it's just nice to know someone else a bit more experienced than me is look at the same kind of picture. It just helps your confidence a bit. In fact, I don't think charting's my biggest problem, really. I'm certainly not a bad chart reader. I'm just a bad decision maker. I just need to focus on the trades. If I see a trade, take it. Don't think about it, take it. I do overcomplicate things, and I think that's might cause me problems. So we've got a channel with a break, 1, 2 pushes down to a new low. So let's see where this may go. So let's do that from there. Doesn't matter how you do that, does it? I don't use it much, but let's go from top to bottom. Pushed up. We can pull back to somewhere around about here. Be interesting to see what happens here. I don't know. It could come down. It could just be a big range day. Who knows? Let's have a look what's happened yesterday. So yesterday, pretty bearish day. Had an initial sort of drop, push up, and then we were down then for the majority of the day, as I well know. Trouble is, if you do miss out, leave these and overanalyze, you see everybody else making money, and then your patience tend to slip a little bit. Max says that GR making money. It's not wasting time in social media and Discord. Trading community can be toxic. Yeah, I think there's a certain amount of truth to that. I agree. I agree. Yeah. In fact, to be honest with you, I was thinking last week, and I did say actually, I'm not concerned about my trading charts because 9.5 times out of 10, mine's exactly the same as Thomas Wade's and the rest of them. So I've kind of been paying less attention to it. So what I was thinking of doing is getting rid of it and not using it, and then maybe putting a second 2,000 tick chart in its place, just to possibly get a better entry. Speedy, how you doing, mate? Is the fee of 85 for lifetime going to remain? I don't know is the answer, mate. If I had to guess, I'd say probably, yeah. It's going to get more sales for them, so I would say probably, yeah. When does it run out? It runs out, when have I got it down as? 15th. Let me just check, is that right? Because sometimes they change it and not tell you. Let's have a look. It doesn't half make a difference. It really does. It's got 3 more days including today. So where are we? We're Monday, aren't we? So Tuesday, Wednesday. Is that about right? Today that's 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it finishes midnight on Wednesday, I'd say. So I don't know. Where are we? We're kind of halfway through the month, really, then, aren't we? Nearly. So I'd guess they will probably I'd guess they will probably. I just delete something. I know. I'd guess they will probably extend it. What have I done? Oh, it's okay. Yeah, hopefully. Will you stay Thomas Ways to School after your subscription ends? It's already ended, mate. I think he's letting me stay on it for free, I think. I don't know if you remember me talking about this. I messaged him about 3 months ago, high or low for 4 ticks there. I'm just not sure about this. And part of the reason is there may be a slightly bigger channel there. It's hard to say. I did mention, I said, look, when I first met, I've got a YouTube channel and you know, if you let me let me try it out, I've got no problem with, you know, speaking to some of my guys and stuff like that. And you may get some business out of it. And he said, I know you are, and all that. And he said, I'm happy to let you for free. Well, I'd already paid by then because he never got back to me the first week. So, but he did say you won't charge me again. So you may test. Yeah, not sure here. See, because there could be a bigger channel, which means that ILO is going to get stuffed. Trouble is, as long as there's a possibility of a channel, I don't really want to go ILO there. Yeah. So what did you get out of that? So it was a bit risky for me with this downtrend. Let's have a look. What did it go for? So if you went a tick above it, so it's about, you just, depending on where you got in, that's a tick there. So you'd have got a 0.75. Oh, you'd have got a 0.75. Expected an email, yeah. Oh, you got 4 ticks, Brant, so you're okay there. Yeah, it's... The trouble is, it's hard to know exactly what's going on because we've had this channel, we've had a break, and we've had 2 pushes up, and we've hit a measured move. I don't like this channel for some reason. It's not fitting as nice as I'd like it, so we could just have that leg up with a break, 1, 2 legs, and a measured move, and now this could be a downtrend. So, let me look. So yeah, I kind of wouldn't. It's a leg and a leg. You'd maybe get up to the EMA. Trouble is, you don't know how far you're going to go. And same again, I suppose, counter trend trading, really, isn't it? So I've learned some things. I've got to say, whenever I make a mistake or have a bad day or something goes wrong, I make a point of sitting there in the evening with a couple of scotches and just thinking about what happened and what did I do wrong. And I just kind of go over the basics in my head, you know, what I've learned from Mac over time. What does he say? You know, I don't know how many times I've heard Mac saying, don't count a trend trade, and I did. And in probably one of the most strongest trends we've had for a few days, what did I do? I ended up going long and got stuffed. And I ended up missing a simple, obvious trade in a strong downtrend with a strong setup. So I did the complete opposite that I should do. But, you know, this business it's not as simple as making a mistake once or twice and you never make it again. You know, some jobs, that's the case, but this just isn't. Because, you know, as we learn and improving, and, you know, this decision-making process, there's a lower high there, but we're right into support here, so, and it's a bit far from the EMA, so that, for me, is a risky. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background of your brain when you're looking at these setups, you're reading these charts and making decisions. And it's very easy with inexperience, a bit of immaturity when it comes to trading, to you know, make a decision. You don't have a lot of time to think. You've got to make a quick decision. And it's very easy to make the wrong one. But, you know, as you mature and with experience, you get better and your emotions get a lot less. I believe you'll start to filter those out. I'm not taking nowhere near the stupid trades I was. You know, a year ago, I was taking half a dozen trades a day. It's another sign of, you know, inexperience, over trading, and that's gone now. So things are improving, but it's not something that happens overnight, unfortunately. It's simple motion triggers, prefrontal cortex. Exactly right, mate. But yeah, you're exactly right. Well, I think you're right anyway. But yeah, I mean, you know, when you're under stress and emotions, you know, things can go wrong. Yeah, so good choice to stay out of that. It hasn't triggered above it yet, but it's clearly risky as hell going there. Channel, 2 legs up, lower high. You may be trapping some longs here. There's a higher low there, but it's going sideways. So there's support here. Going into support, it's risky as hell. May work. Did it trigger it? No, it didn't. Stop it out. So if it didn't stop it out, it may work. But in my opinion, you can't take that into support. It's just got risk written all over it. Technically, we've already had a break and a new low anyway. So yeah, I took it off the range. Yeah. So there is a failure there. So it's still a risky trade to take because it's starting to stack up and you're going long into, you're going short into support. Now, it doesn't mean it won't work, but there's support there. We've already bounced. I have a sheet of paper next to my desk that says taking a trade, look left. And I don't know how many times I've taken a trade there in a support. It's come down a few ticks, come out, stop me out. I got away with that one. It ain't finished yet, but it didn't trigger that out. So sometimes the trend can help you out a bit. I mean, it could still turn, to be honest with you. You could even say 1, 2, 3 triple test. Let me have a look. It doesn't really look rangy at the moment. It does look like it's kind of working down, but not before. It'll push up and take both of those out. They're easy pickings for me, which is why I wouldn't get in there. 1 tick above there, you're taking out 2 lots of stop in 1, I think. So let's have a look at this. What is this showing me? Small overshoot, which is the same here, a leg and a leg. Your bars look different from mine. Sorry, but I haven't reloaded them. Let me, I'll reload them. Did you hear what I said, Sean, earlier? I mentioned to you, didn't you? Message me at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's all right, mate. I was awake. I did say you guys can message me every time. If I see him, I'll answer them. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. So, wow. That definitely wouldn't have been taken. Yeah, they do look different now, don't they? I usually do that. I forgot, but yeah. Watch this guy. I'll show you now. Watch this guy. Maybe time to widen to there. Yeah. I've widened it. Now we've had a break. I like to give it 2 pushes down because a lot of times we had a break, 2 pushes up and it reversed. So I want to see how this goes on. Yeah, let me just find this guy. I like what he had to say about inexperienced traders. Let me find him. What did I say? Let's go top dog trading. There he is. This guy there. I like this guy. Trading the markets with Dr. Barry Burns. He's been around a while. He's got a lot of subscribers. But if you look on his videos and click the oldest ones, he's got videos going back 17 years. So he's like Mac. Been it, seen it, done it, and got the grey hair from it. So he's interesting. I liked his videos. I was doing some research over the weekend. Stop doing this. Why 95% traders lose money on winning setups? I like what he had to say. He explained it very simple. And it was true. It just, when he started talking about it, it was just hitting home. So Top Dog Trader, his name is. Have a look through some of his videos and definitely have a look at that. But it was right in what he was saying. Hold on to your winners. That trade the other day, that I left. That's the trade you want to be holding on to, really, because look how bearish it is, and look what it would have done. You'd have got 5, 6, 7 trades in a row, the equivalent of there. And then what happened? I got in here and started panicking. Move me stop. So I held on to a loser that long there. I held on to a loser, and if I'd have been in that trade, I'd have probably got out for 1.5 points because I'd have been panicking. So a winner I should have been holding on to, whereas I didn't even take it, and the loser I should be getting out of. And it just, some people, when they explain it, it just, you know, sort of something ticks, something in your brain finally ticks, and I think that could be opened up a bit now. And I think that's what happened. Yeah, this can probably be enlarged now, I think. But sometimes I need telling a few times to get it through my thick head, because sometimes I just, I sort of listen to you, but I don't really hear what you're saying, you know, all the other way around. But yeah, watch his videos. I enjoyed what he's got to say. He makes it really clear. Leg. Still not ready to go short just yet here, because after that push, there's probably going to be traders there, I would say. You've got a second entry long there, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a fair old few stops somewhere on about there, around that area. Yeah, I'd say there's going to be stops around there, so will this come down and take him out, maybe? It's hard to know what's going on at the moment. May end up being a bigger channel, but it may, after this sort of big move down, it may bounce there, bounce here. Could just be ranging a little bit. No, it's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. It doesn't ping on my phone. I have my phone go to silent about 11 o'clock at night. But sometimes when I wake up, if I can't sleep, I'll look at my phone, and if someone's messaged me, I'll answer them back. That's the trouble when you don't, you know, you trade at home full time. You don't have to get up. I don't trade till around about 2:15 in the afternoon, so that, you know, I don't really need to get up early. So you kind of lose that sort of routine of getting up and going to bed at the same time. So my sleep pattern's all over the place at the moment. Sometimes because Mac's video usually goes on about 1 o'clock in the morning UK time. So if I get up at night, I'll go down, make a cup of tea and watch his videos. So I'll probably get a little bit obsessive about trading, but that's kind of how my mind works when I want to learn something. It just kind of takes over my whole life to a degree, but no, don't. You guys message me anytime. It won't ping, so it won't wake me up. But if I'm awake, I'll usually answer yeah. Let's have a look at this. That looks okay to me. We've got a break. 1, 2 pushes down to a new low. So I think Penguin may wait for 2 legs up the bottom overshoot. Yeah, I tend to do a combination of the two, I think. And if you look at a lot of Mac setups, they're the same. I took about 3 Penguin trades in 2 days, and Mac marked all 3 of them as clearly 2 legs back. So this is interesting because I've got another 2000 tick chart on here, which I've just opened. There's kind of 2 legs up and a bearish bar there. But at the moment, it's going a little bit sideways, so it could tick above there. There'll be some more stops there. So, in fact, let's put another little line there. Yeah, it has done. Thought it might. There'll be some stops there. And probably there, second entry short there. Still kind of working down, stroke sideways, but those... There we go. Okay, I was surprised it didn't take that out. Will it get that one? It could be a second entry short here. If it takes out some... Yeah, I don't know what's going on at the moment. It could end up just ranging. This could be 2 attempts to push higher and then it fails. That's interesting. Look at this chart now. Second entry short. God, that's tempting. Is it 89? I've got it. So,
Order submitted.
Yeah, I like that. Ooh, God, it's massive.
Order submitted.
That's massive. I like it though. 2 clear legs up. Nice second entry. I like that. I'm panicking though now. For some reason. I'm just going to have to leave it. I am panicking. 1, 2, 3. It's like a triple test. I've just got to leave it. It is a second entry. It's off this area here. I've just got to leave it. It is what it is. I keep wanting to get out of it, but I've just got to get in and take it. And then if it's not to be, it's not to be. It's not pushing down as strong as I'd like, though. What do I do? What to do? What to do? What to do? I'm never going to learn unless I just leave it, am I? Let's just leave it. It does look like we're reversing anyway. It's probably just wider. I've just got to leave it. It's just not worth monkeying with it all the time. It's a beautiful big bearish bar. And we are in a bit of a downtrend. There's something a bit wider. We've triggered above that now. I've just got to leave it. It's not worth messing around. There's a little double bottom here as well. I'm going to put that 1 tick above to there and there. 1, 2, 3. It's a triple test. I've just got to leave it. It's just a rather larger risk, but hey, I've just got to do it. Yeah, I do. I'm really surprised if that doesn't work because it was a second entry short, 1, 2, 3 triple test. I'm really surprised if it doesn't work. We've got a channel break, 2 pushes up to a new high, measured move played out, and it's clearly coming down. 1, 2, 3 triple test. Well, let's just leave it. It is what it is. I think that's a good sign, but let's see anyway. May get me, it may not. But I've just got to let it go. So what I will say is this here, that's looking quite good as well. But yeah, I have just got to let it go. Don't even know what the risk is on here. What is it? 425. Oh, well. 1, 2, 3. It is a triple test. Well, that certainly is anyway. But we need to get down below there. There's a double bottom down there. Let's get rid of that and that. We need to get down below there. Leg down. It's clearly 2 attempts to push higher, isn't it? You took the second entry in the other chart, got you. Yeah, if it's ranging, we're still at the top of a range. So 1, 2, 3. It's a triple test. We need to get down below there and we might have half a chance then. Yeah, okay.
Order
Okay.
filled.
What did I get out for there? 275. It's probably going to break below there, but it's not worth missing $275 for it to go. Yeah, it's clearly smashed below there. I'd have been okay there, but that's fine anyway. It seems good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys. What do you think? It's a second entry short. There's the first entry there, and it's a second entry short. It's bouncing off the top. The fact that it came back is kind of irrelevant to a degree. Let me have a look. Anybody took it up? I don't know. It's hard to tell. You did tell me. Thanks, Karina. Sometimes I needed it. That's the trouble, really. If I'm getting out of my trades because I'm panicking, and then there's no point in getting out of a trade for a tick or a small loss when you're in a losing trade, you end up giving even more away. It's crazy, really. So what did I get there? Let's have a look. I was down $50, so I got $250 there. So I got out about 200 there. So it would have come down a little bit more. And I was tempted to hold on to it, but I thought, after I had such a bad day Friday, I think it's important to get a green day today. So that's the main thing anyway. But this is probably going to come down significantly more, I think. If you look at the picture, we've got a channel up with a break, 2 pushes up to a new high. We tried again. We had the measured move, so let's just shove this one out of the way. Strangely enough, look at that. It's almost identical. So I put it there, didn't I? Mine there. So, yeah, there is. I mean, yeah, look at that. So that would have been a trade anyway, I think, that I probably should have taken. It was very similar to that one Friday in a way. We're coming down. So look, we've come down and bounced this area. So excuse me a minute. I'm just going to have to take a quick trip to the bathroom. I'm going to pee myself in a minute. I was holding on there. Excuse me a sec. Okay. And reduce contracts next time until your confidence. Yeah, I know. I know, I'm terrible for that. I've got 4 accounts. I'm doing 2. Oh, one of them's a bit weird. I'm doing 2 on 2 contracts and 2 on 1. So yeah, so it did work in the end. We got a channel down there, 2 pushes up. It's almost identical there. The only difference is it's actually quite different. So it was that one, but I think if it's a strong enough position, usually they'll hold. I do see Mac market them sometimes and high probability trades, and they come up almost identical. I gave an extra tick there because sometimes there's a second entry short there, so there's probably going to be maybe some stops there. But and I did say in a downtrend, I'm probably going to hold on a little bit more. And that is an area where I could have done that. So where did I get in? It's around about 55, was it? And about here somewhere, I think. So if I'd have even waited to this area here, there's 8 points there. Instead of getting 2 points, I could have got 8. So I could have got the equivalent of 4 trades in one go. So I think it's important, if the stars are aligned, that you kind of, you wait for a little bit more. Another higher low, second entry long to retest the EMA. Yeah, there. I put this down here because this is an area that it's bouncing, but let's have a look at that. Yeah, it's just a higher low there, isn't it? So it's all right. I'm still getting over the last win. It's kind of nice to get a clean win eventually, isn't it? It's all right. I was on edge a bit there. But I have got to. You've got to stop being afraid. I suppose we all go through certain times, don't we, where things are a bit hard. That's interesting. Look at that. There's a second entry short there. Let's see if we get a lower high. Trouble is we've bounced off this area, so a leg down. I think 1, 2, 3. There's a good chance we get another leg down. In fact,
order submitted.
Take that off there. Second entry short, push down, pull back. We've triggered that long there. I think that's worth taking. You'd expect to have another leg down. There'll be longs trapped there. I like the way it's triggered above there. I think I've got to take it. I see it. I've got to take it. I like the way it triggered along there. But I'm getting nervous. I'm getting out of this.
Order filled.
Yeah, reason being is we bounced off this area, and let's see if it would have worked. It probably would have done. Let's see if we get a higher low. Let's see if it'll let me back
Order
in.
submitted. Order submitted.
Yeah, it has. I still like it. I think it's going to work. Luckily I could get back in at the same time. So, if I see it, I've just got to take it. There's a couple of people on Thomas Wade's for a minute as well. That gives me a bit of comfort, but we'll see. Maybe get a higher low, we'll see. Leg down, leg down. I think it's an okay. It's a second entry short there. There's going to be a higher low there, so there's going to be traders in there for sure, you would have thought. We may get another pullback, but same again, I've just got to leave it. There's no point in saying I'm going to leave it and just not. for fear of losing a trade. It's a second entry short off the key entry point. It's a breakout pullback, trapping some longs. There's longs there for sure. If it gets below there, it'll hit my position. So I think it's an okay trade. If it loses, it's a bit irrelevant, really. It's about taking a setup, really. We'll see. You may be right. Our bars are there, really. Trouble is, that's the trouble, really. You lose a trade, you get into a winning trade, you get out of it, and then you get into a bad trade and you try and stay in it. So you're sort of damned if you do and damned if you don't, really. I'm going to give that one extra tick. Sometimes it'll tick it out and that, but it is what it is. We've got a channel down. This could be 2 attempts to push up. Yeah, there's a couple of people in Thomas Wade's forum on it, but if it loses, it loses. There's nothing I can do. I just got to get in and take it. I'm trying to think less about making money and more about just taking setup that I see. Leg down, 2 attempts up, push back, breakout, pull back.
Order filled.
Okay, so 1 up, 1 down. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I thought that was okay, to be honest with you. I mean, it may even work. We'll have to see. So we have a break, 2 pushes up and a new low. It was a second entry long. There was a leg and a leg. Bearish bar, which came down. I got in on the other chart, that one there, which was a bit bigger. Same again, second entry, breakout, pullback, trapping the longs. Reversal. It's just one of them things, isn't it? And it has bounced off this area, isn't it? So there would be a failure there, wouldn't there? Leg down, 2 attempts to push higher below the EMA. It's kind of a what's it trade, that, isn't it?
Order
I
submitted.
take that as a penguin trade. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. This looks like a bigger channel to me. I don't really want to wait till this low, but if it breaks below there, it should take that. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher, push below the EMA. It looks like a bigger channel to me. Touch, touch. Is this the type of one that I want to hold? Let's see. It's 1-to-1 really, isn't it? It should be 1-to-1. Let's wait for it to break below here and I'll just drop this in, I think. I don't like the way it's finding some support in there. So let's just leave it. Oh no. Oh. Wait for it to break below here and I'll just drop that in. And again, come on.
Order filled.
Okay. So that was a little bit more what I should have been doing, I think. So channel down, 2 attempts to push higher, strong push below the EMA. I got in a bit lower than I should have done. See, normally when I take penguin style trades, I only trade with 1 contract. I traded with 2 there. So I was pushing my luck a bit there. But I think it was a good chance it was going to get below there. Okay, Sam took that and it worked. He got 4.5 points. What did I get on it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4.25. Okay. 4.25. So that's okay. 4.25. Anybody else took it? Okay. That's funny. Sam's got a better bar than me, but he's got the same channel. Let's see if anybody else took it. So see a downtrend like that, leg down, you can expect this, I think, to come down here somewhere. So you could potentially get a bit more. So I need to have the confidence to just sit in these a bit more, at least to get a little bit more. Channel down, 2 legs up. It clearly worked. So yeah, I think the problem with that one, although it was kind of 2 legs, it was more like 1 leg. Really, wasn't it? So channel down, first leg up, second leg up. When that push below that EMA and closed down here, that's the trade, I think. So that was the key there. So that one lost, which is a shame, and that one won. Did I take that one? I think I did, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. Calm down, Nancy boy. So that was a loss, and these two were a win. So what am I, $150 per account up? So that's not too bad. Shame about that. I think it was more one leg. It was kind of two legs by the count. It kind of was, but yeah, no, it's definitely more of one channel. That I should have left that. So I think there's a good chance that it does kind of look like it's just range. It's not the best looking range, but I think that's what it's doing. So I think there's a good chance this gets down here somewhere. So let me have a look. Yeah, it's probably, it kind of looks like it. In fact, if you come down here to there, come down, bounce a couple of times off the bottom, break below it, push straight up, break above it, and come back down. So we've had a leg down, we've had a break. It could be something along the lines of that, couldn't it? Leg and a leg. So we've got this big push down with a break, a leg and a leg, something like that. But I think, although it kind of looks bullish, now it looks bearish, I think it is just ranging, isn't it? So, but it's interesting how it bounced there, and we had those two legs back before that first push. So I'd like to see another couple of legs back. My only slight concern is we are working slowly away from the bottom, which tells me maybe something like that. Yeah, that's much better. So let's just get rid of that. Leg down. Yeah, I like that. Zoom out and look left. We're in a range. We're in a range, big range. Just broke out the side. Is that what I've just said, Bud? Is it? I think that's what. Is that? It's all right. I was talking about this range before I read your comments. Is that what you mean, Bud? Is it? How do you say your name? Exaldon. Exaldon. Something like that. I'm assuming you mean that's kind of the thing we're in, yeah. Where are you from anyway? You new face? I've not seen you before, I don't think. Just for today. Is that what you mean? Range sideways in the picture I've got there, yeah? Is that what you mean? I'm assuming that's what you mean. We had a triple test today about 20 minutes ago, yeah. I think that's the trade I took, isn't it? There, triple test, yeah, it was. Are you from California? Excellent. I'm assuming you got nicer weather than we have at the moment. It's been an absolute crap summer. I was talking about just for today. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's been an absolute naff summer in the UK. It's been the worst summer on record, I think. Certainly the worst one I remember. Considering year before last, we had 42 degrees, which was the highest ever in the UK. Certainly where I live, we haven't hit 28 degrees centigrade this year. It's been absolute crap. So at least I'm a bit up anyway. That's the main thing. It's 45. Oh, was it really? Good grief. Yeah, I think 42 degrees. I think it was the year before last. And that's the hottest temperature we've ever had in the UK. I think it was 38 before that. That's warm. 45 is warm, yeah. See, the thing is, in the UK, in the US, most of you guys have sort of got air conditioning where you get that weather, but we generally don't in the UK. I bought one this year for the first time, and I hardly got to use it, to be honest with you, because it wasn't that warm. But we used to have a pool in the garden. It sounds a little bit extravagant, but it's just one of those Intex 12-foot round ones, about a metre deep. It's just made out of PVC and steel pipes, and we've got like one of those automatic sand filters which sort of keep it crystal clear. But I was in it once this year. We had my daughter and a couple of friends around in it once, and that's it. It's been covered most of the summer. It's really been that naff. So this is interesting, the way it's pulling back into this area here. So I would prefer it up here, ideally. So yeah, I prefer to get up here. I like this. We've got a touch there, touch there, touch there. It's working beautifully on the bottom. I think there's a good chance we get a leg and a leg. Let's have a look. It's pretty much ranging, so I think it'll probably come down. I mean, there is a possibility it could be something like that. I kind of like that, though. Let's do that, I think. Now, we have got this little bit here, which we've bounced off. We've pushed through it, cleared out any liquidity below there, and pushed back up above it. So we're going to have to be careful here. I'm still thinking about shorts at the moment, but I want this to continue down below this area, really, before I think about getting back into another. Because it's clearly using this area, so... Oh, yeah. So far, so good. So if it's using this area, it could just be, well, you say triple test. Could come back up here and just kind of sideways. So we get a break out the top there. And we get a break out the bottom. So up, down, up, down. So it's a bit on the fence at the moment, but wouldn't be shocked if we started working up here. What am I doing? What do you got down there? So leg and leg, we haven't quite got down there, but this area is interesting me there. So look at that, we've pulled right back there and bounced exactly off that 50% line there. So we've pushed up, bounced, quite a strong bounce off that 50%. So that's interesting there. So there's another reason why this thing could go up. And also, you could say channel down, break, 1, 2 pushes down, 2 new low. So technically that's played out. So I'm just going to clean this up a bit. So channel, break, 1, 2 pushes to a new low. A little bit of sideways, it's kind of bottoming. So this thing could go up. So I keep that, or do I get rid of it? See, the tough part is there's a possibility. There's a possibility we've got this. Touch, touch, touch. Which means a break and a retest of this area. So I'm just not sure about this. Ooh, I had a bit of a shiver there. Just not sure about this. So I'm going to leave that there just for the minute, but we're clearly respecting this area. We've broke below it then quite strongly. So at the moment, I won't be taking any shorts or longs just yet, really. But it might not be this. I actually kind of would prefer this. Which means it could still come down, but no. So I'll tell you what I do now. I'm going to put that there like that. So that looks pretty okay to me. We've had a break, 2 pushes up, 1 leg down, 2 legs down, new low. So I'm just going to leave that like that for now. Let's open this up a bit. Shit, I hate it when it does that. So quite a strong move up. So took out anything there. There'll be liquidity above there for sure. Thinking we're going to get another leg down. So it'd be interesting to see if it hits this. I won't be surprised if it pushes straight up. So, or if we get a second entry, maybe interesting to go long because this thing is break, leg up, 2 legs back, leg up. I wouldn't be surprised if we got up to this area here. So there will be liquidity there. That got taken out, anything there. But there's about to be traders sat there thinking we get another leg down. But if we can have a little pullback before we get up there, there may be an option to... I have a feeling it's just going to smash straight through it. So it looks like it's targeting that liquidity. Now, there is a possibility we've had a break, 2 legs down. We could range like this. Interesting to see if that breaks above here, we could get a break out of this side. So that's about to break this. So we've bounced off that. Oh, we've got to break it, surely. There we go. A little bit higher. In fact, to be honest with you, that one worked for a scalp easily, didn't it? Oh, God, easily. A little bit higher. Okay, that's cleared out on the NQ. There isn't any more really till up here somewhere. There's a little bit there maybe. Okay, so that's cleared everything out now. I suppose it depends where you put your stop. Usually it takes a few extra ticks, doesn't it? Just to continue on. Okay, so I don't think we got any argument now. Channel break, 2 pushes to a new low, and we're going up. Okay, folks, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. Make a cup of tea. It's been a hectic morning, so I'm just going to pop that there. I'm going to let it do its stuff. I'm not taking anything really until it gets up here, and we'll have a look. So I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, so channel small overshoot. Maybe. Okay, nothing I can do here. Kind of two legs. There's a little overshoot there. Excuse me, we made a new high there. So not doing nothing here. So where do I think this is going? Leg and a leg. Trouble is, it's all quite tight here. It could come down here first. A little bit sideways. Oh, incidentally, I'm in the middle of, well, I've been doing it for about a week or so now, trying to build a website, just to put some information in about me, where I come from, stuff like that. Something I've never done before, and it's a lot harder than it bloody looks. I'm using this company called Squarespace, and it takes so long. But it's kind of challenging, so I'm having a go at that at the moment. See, depending on how you say this, there's still something slightly bigger there, and we've had a channel with a leg, two pusher to a new low, and this looks like it could head for this top here. So I think there's a good chance of getting to. It's hard to say, really. It's a bit hard to read today. I mean, we've pushed up, then we've come up a little bit less, and then we've come down. So, yes, I think depending on how you channel out, we've already had a break of it and a new low. So is this going to continue high? We're going to bounce here. I really don't know. At least I'm up a bit today. 150 per account minus some commissions. Also, I've opened up comments again on a YouTube channel. So if you guys want to make a comment or something, or ask a question, or whatever you want to do, I stopped it for a while. Because I keep getting that Money Max. I know he sort of plagued a few of the guys in the. Who was it? Told me about it. I can't remember. Someone told me about him about 6-7 months ago. He had a Discord and he was trying to charge people, and someone getting ripped off. I think it was Nick Sesto who mentioned it to me about him. Money Max, his name is. He was just getting nasty comments constantly. And I stopped the comments in the end, and then I opened it back up a couple of weeks ago, and he was there again. You know, you got all your charts wrong, and my charts are exactly the same as Max, and you know, but he just, I don't know. Some people just want to keep having a pick, but what I think he does, or what he used to do, I think it was Nick who told me, someone he knows paid and got ripped off for somebody. He tells you you're no good, says he can help you, and I think that's what doing. So just be aware of him if he does message anybody. Max and then a bunch of numbers, I think. But yeah, I've opened up the comments again. I want to try and grow the channel a little bit. It's kind of nice. I think it's useful for people who may be sort of new and, you know, want a bit of company and a chat and maybe mix ideas and stuff like that. So I thought I'd let you, the comments, put those back on. So if you got something to say, feel free. So channel break new high on the NQ. What time is it? How long have I been going for? 2 hours, 10 minutes. Okay. It's quite hard to read today. It really is. Push up, break. Or channel break. 2 pushes to a new low. Is this thing heading up? Maybe. It's getting a bit slow in the afternoon, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Depending on where you think the range is. I mean, we've clearly... I'll tell you what, let's make this a bit easier. Might kill the colour here a bit. Let's kill that a bit. So, I mean, depending on how you're looking at this, could have something like that. Let's get rid of this a minute. Why have I got 2 lines on there? Oh, it's the bigger channel, isn't it? Yeah, so let's get rid of that. We've bounced here, and a bit here. We've had a breakout. Now, we see that all the time, don't we, in a range? It breaks out the top and does the opposite, the other side. So it's going to bounce here. We'll have to see. So we've had a channel with a break. 1, 2 pushes up to a new high. Is it going to bounce here? Quite likely. And then come down. I mean, it could always go a bit higher. Could come up to here. So it got to the top of the range. That's a range. Oh, yeah. I got it, yeah. Yeah, we see it all the time, don't we? Breaks out one end and does sort of like a mirror image there, really, doesn't it? So whether it bounces in, comes down, I think it's likely. I don't know. Sometimes, yeah. What I find with this, sometimes it's so easy to read. It's really predictable, and other days it's just what the hell's going on. But so bigger picture, it's kind of going sideways, doesn't it? We had that sort of leg down and leg down, leg up. Channel break, 2 push up to a new high, leg down, break, 2 pushes down, cleared out any liquidity there. And we're just sort of almost like leg and a leg. So we could come up here. But if it's a measured leg, we don't need to come that far to hit that measured leg because we broke down the bottom. So measured leg sort of comes to there. So we don't really necessarily need to get a measured leg right up there. So it could be just a break leg and a leg, and who knows. I think it goes up to the highs of the day. Bunch of action off the middle. Yeah, it's hard to know where it's going to go at the moment, isn't it? But we could have a leg. I mean, it could end up. We could make a bigger leg up here. Who knows? We got yesterday's highs. So that's always a possibility. That takes us very close. And if we are in a bigger range, down here, up there, so yeah. As I say, sometimes I find these charts really easy to read, and then other days they're kind of not making as much sense. So a leg and a leg, sort of like a couple of attempts to push up. So NQ, some support there. You can see it. We've had a break, 2 pushes to a new high. So this has got a little bit further. Wedge resolution. You said wedge resolution. I don't know what that means, but confuse me now. So leg. So there will be liquidity up here. So whether it'll get that high or not. Could be a larger channel. See what happens up here. So any liquidity left will be up here, really. That bullish bar there triggered and came down, so I expect there to be some stops up around here. Whether it'll get that high, who knows. Okay, that measured moves hit. So that's played out. Leg and a leg. But that big push up with a break. That's kind of like penguin types 2 attempts to push higher. 1, 2. So the theory is then, with his style, we end up doing something like that. Something like that, and then wherever. Then we end up being in a bigger range. Who knows? So we've got above any little bit of liquidity down here, and this thing still looks like it's trying to get higher, so it's probably coming up. If there's enough buyers in there, it'll get up around about here. Or will it? A narrow channel down, followed by a tiny wedge. Second wedge down, yeah. I got you. So we've got above here. And then we've had a drop. So is this a way down now? Could be. Small break there, small break there. Could come all the way down. It could continue up to this level here. So let's have a look at this NQ. So we've come above here and we've bounced here. So maybe a bigger channel moving up. Yeah, see, Thomas Wade's got this as one big channel now. It kind of don't look right to me. Maybe it is. That definitely with a break. 1, 2 pushes up to a new high. I was kind of hoping if we get a lower high here, trapping that long. Like to see that trigger because I wouldn't be thinking about taking a long trade that far from there. If I took that trade, I'd expect it to lose because it's kind of floating there. So it'd be interesting to see now it's triggered. Is that going to come down? And if it does, that would create a bearish bar followed by a lower high. It's hard to say. It could continue to push up, but we've had a channel with a break, 2 pushes to a new high. So it really depends how strong the buyers are. I mean, we know this is an area it can get up, but as we've broken above here, cleared out any liquidity that may be there, it might trigger that one and turn for a lower high back down to the EMA. Okay, still looks quite bullish to me. Look at that. Thomas Wade's just changed his look. Same as me. So, balls, I hate that. Balls. Oh, someone remind me how to move it again. It's hidden at the top. Crap. Let's just get rid of it. Close window. Sort it out later. I'll be finishing soonish anyway, so. So, yeah, it seems to be working here. So I think the next target is up here. Window key arrow. Leg up, break, bounce. One attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. If this fails up here and comes down strongly, I could see that pushing below this and coming back probably into this larger range, I think. Excuse me. I'll be surprised if we don't get a break here. It's getting a bit slow. And I won't be surprised if we do get a bit break, it drops down below there. We're pushed up to the top. We're struggling now. We're going up a little bit sideways, so I'd expect a break here. I think there's a good chance we get up there, but I can't see it doing it now just from there. It may do, but my experience is whenever we start to go really slowly, a lot of times you have that little flush down. It might clear anything out. I mean, it could still go straight up, but it's just struggling a bit. So there'll probably be some longs there. It's struggling to go anywhere at the moment. It's going a little bit sideways, so I think we're going to get a little break here. Maybe bounce here. Be interested to see if it takes out that stop, and he stops at maybe below there. Going a little bit sideways there. May work if there's enough buyers in there, but I have a sneaking suspicion we may get a pull back here. That to me is a weak position. It's too far into the middle of the range. It's way too far from the EMA. If this comes down and tests this line, there's no reason why it wouldn't break below there. And if we do, we may get 2 legs down and an entry clean off that. Give us something bullish sat on there for the ride up to the top. It's going sideways. It's struggling for me. It's going to have a little bit flush down, pick up anything there. I wouldn't be thinking about buying here. I'd want it back down to the top of this, really. So, for me, I think it's more likely to come down. But it has just triggered below that semi-bearish bar now, and if it gets above there, it may continue on up. Little triple top there. This close is bearish for me. It's likely to come down and retest the top of this. But if it gets above there, we'll see. After this push up, you think a natural place to take profits will be up here. And then pick them back up there. It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, we've had a breakout here, breakout there. It may come back into the range, but I think it's got... I've got a sneaky suspicion it may get up to here. Interesting. Let's see if that triggers. Let's see if it holds there. That for me would be a risky trade to take. We've got a little triple top there, and now we've got 4 tops, so this could come straight down, take out that short and work down to here. I wouldn't want to be in that trade now. Now, if it's strong enough, market's strong enough, it'll continue on up. But that for me is a risky trade to take right into support. It may work, but I wouldn't want to take it. Okay, so it's cleaned out anything there. There was probably a few stops there, so will it push up now? Or will it come back? Okay, so a little bounce there, push that above there, which gave that little momentum a little bit further. I'll be shocked if it doesn't take that out. So channel little break. It's strong, that is. No real issues. A little pullback, but nothing major. Okay, folks, I'm going to leave it there. I think we've been going for nearly 2.5 hours. I'm nicely up to date. I kind of want to enjoy being up to date after Friday. So I learned some things over the weekend, which I think has helped me. It's always good to sort of analyse and look at where you're going right, where you're going wrong, whether you're having any few issues and problems, and it just doesn't happen. I certainly thought that, when I can hold an account, that's it. The emotions will all disappear. And I think they never really go away. I think you get to the stage where they don't bother you enough to do anything silly. But, trading takes time. I've been doing it for a little over 3.5 years. And it's not easy. Any place that you can make this sorts of money, any job, it's never going to be easy. But I think if you stick at it and keep learning from your mistakes and keep improving, and you've, got that continued desire to want to succeed, I think your time will come. A bit of a tricky day today. Market's definitely moving. Be interesting to see what happens here. So channel break, new high, channel break, new high. So are we going up or are we coming down? We could have another leg up. I mean, it kind of is a correction, but I'd have preferred a more of an obvious one. But we could end up doing something like that, which takes us up close to Friday's highs. So leg and a leg. So that's what I'd think would probably happen unless we turn here and come back into this range. But there you go. So I appreciate your comments, folks. My code UKFT is back up and running finally from Apex. So if you use it or you have used it, it is appreciated. It does help me out, and it helps me not to have to go and work weekends, so I can sort of continue to trade full time. So best of luck. I hope you get a setup. Failing that, just incidentally, just keep this in mind, folks. There's something else I just remembered. I know it's something I was going to tell you. My funded futures, with my discount, is $76. For some reason, they've just stopped, because you used to be able to reset it for $50. They don't allow resets now on failed evaluations. I don't quite know why. And also, they've done something that you can actually reset a live account. In my honest opinion, I wouldn't do it, because it's like $400 for the 50k account, which I think's a lot anyway. Not only that, if you're paying $76, you could get like five evaluations for the price of that. And don't forget, if you take an evaluation and you pass it, you don't have to pay anything extra to go onto a PA account. It's all part of that cost. So it was just two things that I meant to say. So I wouldn't suggest you do it. 400 quid's just a bit extortionate, I think, to be honest with you. I'd rather take some more. You could take five evals. Couldn't be connected now. So there you go. Anyway, just a couple of bits of news I wanted to mention. So best of luck. I hope you get a setup. Failing that, have a great evening. Stay safe, and I will be back tomorrow. And we'll do it all over again. So have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.